The lack of honest advice. Few creators say this, you've never heard this from others, you'll rarely hear it from others, is that if you're making under $100,000, you probably shouldn't be buying any cars. That money can go to so many better places for you in your life and setting up a life or how you want to live a life than putting it into cars. I'm not gonna be, oh, how are you dare you to tell people how to spend their money. I'm not sports card radio, and if I popped up on the scene to you and you saw a few of my videos that took off, sure, you might think that.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I need to get some things off my chest. The channels move fast, the lives are fun, exciting, callers all of a sudden from out of nowhere, big, fun conversations. And I want to make sure my thoughts are said thoroughly and how I feel. And so it doesn't get misconstrued, it doesn't get taken another angle because I have other members calling in, I have the chat we're chiming in, and so I want to make sure you understand where I sit. And I don't, what I can no longer take is basically words being put in my mouth or me being driven in a direction that's some BS. So let's just start. I have about 7 things I want to go over, a message at the end, and I'll start with the dirty marketing. It's sizzle over the steak. It's flashy ads. It's influencers. It's limited numbers. So the whatnot ads before a YouTube video or on your social media. Wow. It's, and how often does that happen? It's a very weird, odd, dirty advertisement. Obviously to get the new person in the hobby, definitely not targeting someone that understands how it all works. You look at the Arena Club ad, you pop on social media and every other thing, Arena Club, Arena Club, Arena Club. Now Courtyard's out there. These are odd companies that are not showing themselves as gambling, not saying they're gambling, don't want to be presented really that way. Yet that's kind of what they are, so I hate it. I hate the dirty marketing. I hate that the way breakers pop off on some below average card. I hate the way that certain channels market the product or push the product or get, breakers on their content, make content, giving it to the kids, making themselves look all good or think they look good when really that's what sports books do. Sports books try to give you free stuff so you'll come play. And that's exactly the angle of this. And even if they don't think it is, and even if it is genuine or from the heart, number one, I don't buy that. It's for content. Number two, you're trying to create an everlasting customer here or someone else in the hobby. Breakers, the last one I want to mention is the manufacturer, Topps, Panini, especially Fanatics. This was the plan all along. This was the plan all along to use breakers and the media or channels, media as assets to advertise the product for absolutely free, to pump the push, to put it in every person's home. That was the idea, was to use breakers. That's always what I thought the idea was. Is I read that, did I hear anyone say that? No, but I do believe that was always the idea, and we get lost in the now. Quickly things fade. The overprinting is my second issue, and that's straight from manufacturers. Do you know that in 2023, I made a video in 24, and in 2023, Topps, not all Leaf, not everything, just Topps alone, 67 different products. Isn't that hilarious at 6'7"? Because 6'7", if you know, you know, but 67 products. And you have parallel after parallel after parallel in these products. You have 15 versions of the same rookie card. And most rookies don't pan out. So how much of that stuff is garbage? You look at an NBA draft class, there's 60 guys that get drafted. Yes, maybe a little more. 65 of that draft class, you're lucky if 5 of them stay card relevant through their career. Most fade, most are duds. It's ridiculous. So 95%, 99% of what you're buying that's modern is same. People attack me. Oh, you don't know enough about the ultra modern. Oh, you don't buy it. Why am I buying into something that I think is going to fail? Why am I purchasing any of it? It all feels the same. It all feels stale, and there's way too much of it. You can't keep track. 67 different sets. How about release a set a month and make it a big deal? Hey, January is Bowman month, and February is Topps Chrome, and March, and this makes everything a big deal. But everything just blends together. Nothing's a big deal, or if it is, it's not for a week because they could sell more product. Breakers continue raking in the money, and this is a problem that I have. Serial numbers, my third problem. They're not magic. It's not here's a wand and everything's going to be expensive. As I told a commenter, John Starks is still John Starks. John Starks was a good player in his day. Probably, I'm almost positive, an all-star. Definitely played in some huge playoff games. But he's still John Starks. Ron Harper is still Ron Harper. Dikembe Mutombo, great player, legendary defensive player, is still Dikembe Mutombo. Less than 2% of athletes make the Hall of Fame, and less than half of that are card relevant. The numbers on the card do not create the demand long term. History does. The performance does. The tiny number on it does not. My fourth problem is chase-driven products. Every box now, every box, except that Halloween product Panini releases, which stays low cost, low price, because there's nothing big to pull in it, still could be a fun rip, especially at $35 for 90 packs, but they don't make stuff like that. Everything is a next big hit. Everything needs to be looked at as a slot machine with very low paying odds, by the way. The boxes are not made for the average person. They're not made for collectors. They're made for either people with some good bank accounts or people that want to buy into breaks. And the best example is the new Disney Chrome product, Topps Chrome, $750 a box. I thought it was actually a pretty cool product. At $750, what person making under $100,000 can justify that purchase? It's designed for breaks. It has a Tom Hanks auto. It has some bigger autos that people are willing to put some money in and chase. But $750, you'll never find me going to buy that box or the general public. But that's how they're justifying all these big prices is that they have a chase card, so it runs up the people are willing to break into it and gamble. And one person hits and 99 fail. And that's why some of us think it's not a long lasting business model. It's not a long lasting product. It's the lottery now. And there's other ways to play the lottery with way more transparent odds. My fifth is probably my biggest gripe, and from a journalist background, this is the biggest, real big issue, at least in the content space. And industries have done this before. It's big tobacco. But tobacco. And doctors in ads recommending cigarettes. But this was industry funded. Burying cancer links, making sure that didn't get out. Eventually it got out. Dairy. Big Dairy did this, got milk, and now you have students across the country drinking milk and eating pizza at 11 a.m. because it was deemed healthy. Sugar did this. They paid off big research to make sure sugar stayed in okay and it didn't cause heart disease. Guess what? It sure does. And when you get media mixed with business, this is a huge conflict of interest. Even if some are genuine, innocent, even if you say there's still certain things that from the real world perspective, when you have people with card shops and breaking businesses also putting themselves out there as the media, showing up at the National and Fanatics Fest as basically doing some media spots, putting out content as a media spot, it is a conflict of interest. In the real world, in business, it's a conflict of interest. And it's the biggest thing that's in the real world you could point to and say, yeah, man, these people own the business and they're, they sell cards, they sell breaks, and they also are want to be top of the food chain in the media. Hello, wake up. Finally, wake up to fake and manipulated comps. The more experienced people I talk to, the more I read. Oh, yeah. Very reasonable to think that certain comps over the years have been created by a plant, by a friend, by a setup in order to create a higher comp, or even just a push on. Even I've heard theories of pushing onto the Asian market. Hey, you only need big buyers in China, 2 big buyers in Korea, 2 big buyers in Japan. They're all fighting over this stuff. And now all of a sudden you have some of these cards going, especially basketball, going to the Asian market. And all it took was some propping up. To me, it's not necessarily always a free market. It's often sometimes manipulated, dressed up comps. And then guess what? They could turn around and sell that card for the comp that they bought it for and make a little money. The end buyer is getting played sometimes. The lack of honest advice. Few creators say this, you've never heard this from others, you'll rarely hear it from others, is that if you're making under $100,000, you probably shouldn't be buying any cars. That money can go to so many better places for you in your life and setting up a life or how you want to live a life than putting it into cars. I'm not happy. Oh, how are you dare you to tell people how to spend their money? Hey, it's the honest truth. Tough things have gone up. Oh, mortgages have gone up. Rents have gone up. Cost of living has gone up. The job market is not thriving. Many people are living off the gig economy. The honest truth is if you make under 100 grand, there's probably better areas to put your money. And the general public does make under $100,000. It's also gambling. And many of these content creators, many of these media channels, they don't call it how it is because they're breaking the product, they're selling the product. Bro, it's a gamble. The easiest way, if you want to show it to somebody outside of the hobby that it's a gamble, because it's hard with packs, is go to Arena Club. Clearly, if you're using Arena Club and go to it, it is very easily looked at as, oh yeah, this is just like if I was playing on the casino site hitting some slots. You know, it's very similar. Very, it's the easiest way to me to show someone, yeah, it's gambling. So those two things aren't talked about. The honest advice is if you don't have a very good amount of expendable income, you probably should be looking at other things to put your money into, to save, stocks, 401k, travel some, get outside. But it's hard to say under 100 grand with the cost of living today that you should be putting your hard-earned money into cards. Shilling and sensationalized content, you know it when you see it. I mean, it's just that simple. People comment, people tell me, I read things. It's not just my channel. I read social media. Other people know. Other people, when you see it, you know it. The hobby is confused collecting for clout chasing. And outsiders, and sometimes to me, it often seems like it looks like a bit of a pyramid scheme, a little bit, where the manufacturers are basically printing money. The distributors slash breakers, local card shops are making good money. Then there might be another row of flippers, and you could point a few more people in that row making a less money than the top two, but they're flipping into a little money, and then everyone else is just a big loser.
Bye-bye then. Loser.
All that being said, I am very proud of the channel I built here. 3 years with very little views, 100 views a video, no connections, no money. I didn't start seeing money early like some of these channels and start pumping out content. I did it for 3 years with no money, and I'm going to continue to do it. I still make very little money. As of to this day, 0 sponsors. I also started my channel after the COVID boom head start. And now the lives and the interviews are a whole nother entire thing. I'm adapting. And I think I'm adapting pretty quickly. In each interview, I think I've gotten better. People say on the live sometimes they don't agree with me, and that's all right. I'm completely okay with that. First of all, I just want to remind you, I taught all day. I haven't ate. I come on and do a live. I'm doing 4 or 5 things at once. I'm willing to take anybody's call at any time and go any place. And I'm not backing down and saying, oh God, I taught all day and ate. But I'm reminding you. So this was a better way for me to get my true feelings, my thoughts, my issues, and not have them be swayed, taking an angle, taking a different way, me consumed by 4 or 5 things while running a live by myself. I'm doing 5 things at once. And again, sometimes you'll say you don't agree with my take, or that guy made a good point, or this is a good point. Fair. The important part is the conversation. That is the important part. And if you don't think I care, you're one of those people just roll your eye at my content, you're way off. Way off. I don't just make negative content. I make very detailed research analytical content, whether positive or negative. I'm not sports card radio. And if I popped up on the scene to you and you saw a few of my videos that took off, sure, you might think that. They were also very sensationalized on the other way, just as sensationalized as some of these channels are. Can you blame them? First of all, it did well for them. And second of all, if the other side's going to take a such a sensationalized stance, then you kind of got to. But I do stand by it. My content is back with research, numbers, analytics, conversations. And so I want to end, Go watch the recent video, part 2 of Run Good Life. It was our first conversation. Part 2 is excellent. I'm enjoying the interviews a bunch. Tomorrow, SCV Sports Cards. On Tuesday, depending when you're watching this. On Tuesday, SCV Sports Cards and Geo are coming on the live. We'll have a little debate. We'll battle back and forth. I'll play moderator. I'll bring the topics. I have after that, I'm interviewing Trike Sports Cards for the channel. That's going to be a fun conversation. Really looking forward to it. On Wednesday, I'm going to interview Scotty B Cards for the channel and then go live afterwards. I don't know when I'll release those videos. I'm not going to release them all back to back to back. I got to edit them. I work. I mean, there's a lot going on. On Saturday, I'm going to interview Dan the Card Man. So I'm putting in the work. And there's a reason some of these people want to come on the channel. It's not coincidence. My content's free. That's the last thing I want to say. As of today, no sponsor. I also don't get any money from the lives. They're not monetized. It's about producing good sports card content, real sports card content. And even if you don't think it's good or you don't agree with me, look back at what I said. There's some truths or validity to a lot of the things I have said. At least open your mind or start a conversation with yourself and don't go all the way to the other side. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you have not. As always, thank you for watching my rant, being frustrated, trying to be personal, trying to be clear. Have a great day.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, aka Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.